All right, so a new LBA client literally just signed up while I was out at lunch, and it teaches such an important lesson that I wanted to quickly capture this, put together this little graphic so that you can see it, and film this video. Okay, probably about a month or so ago, I did a similar video to this, breaking down a actual client journey from like cold through nurture through conversion. Okay, now what I didn't show in that video was someone who found me off an ad 3 days ago and then requested the doc and straight away joined, which happens, right? And it's great to talk about like those instant purchases and conversions and stuff like that. But there's this whole other side to this game that I think doesn't get nearly enough airtime. And this is why it is so critical that you just do not stop nurturing. You don't stop putting value out into the marketplace. This is how you build an actual, real, leveraged ecosystem where you don't have to manually crank the handle and chase people. It's by building a audience that you nurture at scale through emails, through content, through remarketing ads that do the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so what I want to show you is this client that just signed up, the journey, their actual journey. All right, so let's tackle this. So this goes back to, so they signed up today, date's the 8th of August, right? Their journey goes back to the 5th of October, 2024. So we're nearly at a year ago, right? And does everybody take this long to join? No, but I think these are such important examples for people to see that don't get nearly enough airtime. Okay, so the 5th of October, 2024, this person has downloaded my 8-word nuclear DM resource. And then what I've done over here is I've put a little arrow so you can see the actual page, and I'll put the links to this stuff below as well so you can check it out too. So on the 5th of October, for the first time, they've come into my world and ecosystem by downloading this resource. Now, this is just an opt-in page for a very particular DM message that we can use to reactivate conversations that have gone cold. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. 2 months later, a little bit over 2 months later, this person, 2 months and a week, this person has re-downloaded the same resource. Okay, I want to pause here for a second because there's a lesson in this in itself. For us and our business is the most important thing, but for everybody else out there, until they deeply know you and deeply know that you can help them, you are just one of 1,000 personal brands that are hitting them with ads every day. And so this person may not even remember downloading this. They may have not even opened it the first time that they got it, right? It's two completely different perspectives. And it's really easy for us to become self-absorbed about our own business. It's like, this is the most important thing because it is our entire world. But it's not for your client until you are fully relevant to them and you've fully demonstrated how you can help them. Then you become very important to them. So just over 2 months later, this person has downloaded the exact same thing via a remarketing ad. Okay, so that's where we start. Come into the system cold, October, reactivated by the same lead magnet just over 2 months later. Okay, then pretty much nothing happens. Just stayed in the ecosystem, got some emails, probably saw some content, maybe watched a couple of YouTube videos, but hasn't moved forward yet. Fast forward to the 29th of April this year, right? So 4 or 5 months after the second download, and they've purchased a $50 low ticket offer with a $27 order form bump. And you can see that page there. This is my Google Doc template for how we get clients without calls. So that's the next big milestone. All right. Now, people who buy lower ticket offers, customers as opposed to leads, definitely have a higher intent and definitely have a higher ascension rate to back-end programs. But that alone is not a guarantee, and it doesn't mean that they're going to upgrade in the next 2 days. The timing has to be right. And I'll put a link below to a video where I break down what I call my ETM content model, and that stands for engineer the moment. And that timing piece is the third element when it comes to content that is so critical and gets so rarely discussed. That's the other reason that I'm emphasizing this journey. Okay, so they've purchased this low ticket product on the 29th of April. And so we're over 6 months from the initial point of contact. Okay. Then we roll forward again. Now we're into July, and they've requested the LBA document, because that's where this ecosystem all drives towards. The ads, the email, the videos, the remarketing ads, all pointing towards LBA. Okay, so the 12th of July. So what's that? Another 2.5 months. They've requested the document off the back of a daily broadcast. So this isn't an automated email. This is the broadcast that gets scheduled, that go out once a day, sometimes 2 times a day, depending on what's going on. And then again, nothing. Okay, now this happens sometimes. Sometimes people request the doc and join straight away, but sometimes they request it, they receive it, and then they go about their life again. All right, that is fine. If people want to do that, go for it. And we fast forward another 5 days, and they've downloaded another training that I have out there that I call the 10 emails training. And it is very simply swipe and deploy these 10 emails that each made $2K to $6K in coaching sales without sales calls, DMs, or a VSL. So it's just another helpful resource. And then I've included a training video on how to customize them and apply them. So this person is aggressively consuming a lot of different angles and a lot of different pieces of value that are out in my ecosystem. And there would be organic consumption happening behind the scenes as well. All right. Then we go fast forward another 2 days, and they've downloaded my lifestyle business playbook, which is this resource over here. Okay. Now you don't have to have this many. I've been doing this for a long time, and my ecosystem is at a certain point, but I'm just demonstrating to you, this is the path that some prospects will take. They will look at all the different elements of what's going on in your ecosystem in order to make a purchasing decision, and they will do it on their own time. So if you get them in day one, you're hammering them with calls for 3 days, and then you make it really weird and uncomfortable. Your salespeople are unfriendly. Your salespeople tell them they're not serious if they don't buy yesterday. That shit doesn't fly anymore. Okay, this is the way people are buying now, through a true ecosystem effect. Right, so she downloaded the playbook, and then another week later, I put out an invite for a live Q&A that I hosted towards the back end of July, registered for that. And then today, like I said, the 8th of July, decided to ultimately jump in. Okay, so we've gone from the 5th of October, 2024, gone through this whole journey, lead magnet, low ticket, requested the offer, another lead magnet, live session, then enrolled. Okay, this is why, and then that's just a little snapshot of the offer doc so you can see each kind of part of the process. This is why it's so important that you build a nurtured audience and a ecosystem that gently follows people around, provides value, gives them the opportunity to consume and live in your ecosystem until they are ready to step forward. This is the way that people are buying information online these days. Okay. Now it would be easy for me to sit here and just show you hey, look at this person who bought 24 hours after they saw my ad. That happens, but that's not the reality for every lead. People take time to consume. And so I want to show you this to manage expectations and also emphasize the importance of building an ecosystem. Because when you do it this way, and when you use a really high leverage approach, it doesn't matter if someone takes 10 months or 10 minutes, because everything that I do is one to many. I'm not chasing people one-to-one. I'm not paying staff to chase people one-to-one. I'm not doing these calls one by one such that I've got time and money invested into that call. It's all leveraged. It doesn't matter if one person sees it or if a million people see it. The emails, the lead magnets, the remarketing ads, it doesn't matter, right? It's all leveraged. It's all really high forms of leverage, which is a topic for another day. And so people can take their time to consume. It's totally okay. Now, over time, I might open and close the program. I might increase the price. And so there's these different deadlines that are going to pop up that are going to encourage people to make a decision. And there's a few other mechanisms that we can use. But when you give people the time to make their own decisions, the right ones will step forward, which then ultimately makes your delivery way more enjoyable, because you're working with people who are 1,000% ready to go. Okay. Hopefully that was interesting for you to see. Happy to make more of these. I think it's cool seeing the journey that people take. And I think it's important to put on the table that not every conversion happens overnight. Not everybody buys 10 minutes after they see an ad. And the more realistic scenario is that people actually take time. They don't always take this long, but it's great to see an example of it nonetheless, I think. Okay. If you want my help building out your really high leverage ecosystem for your information business, you can check out the Academy. It's linked in the description. Otherwise, I'll put some other links related to this stuff below and you can check them out. Cheers.